A wide range of monsters inhabit the land of Voyard, and most take their names from different real-world cultures. Let's start by going through the monster families alphabetically. This will cover the real-world inspirations. The in-world explanation is the Synergy Stones during the Age of Alchemy, and following the Mount Aleph eruption, has mutated many of the people and animals of the world. And some of the cattle will transform into bullmen, or bats will grow scorpion tails. This family is named Minotaurus, Minos Warrior, and Minos Knight. These enemies are based on the myth of the Minotaur. A king named Minos asked Poseidon to give him a bull to sacrifice in his honor after seizing the throne. Upon receiving the bull, he reneged because the bull was pretty and sweet. So Poseidon made Minos' wife fall in love with the bull. So Minos' stepson was born with the head of a bull and body of a human. Minos tried to be a good stepfather, but the Minotaur became more violent as he aged, and he wouldn't listen to reason and live peacefully. So Minos had a labyrinth built around his stepson. The Athenians killed his son, so Minos demanded they send men to confront the Minotaur as vengeance for his son. Knowing the Minotaur would overcome even the strongest warriors Athens would send. The Minos warriors and knights are likely a reference to those who challenged the Minotaur. In-universe, they are just skilled bullmen. This is very clearly a garden variety mole that has been mutated by alchemy. It's gained enlarged claws and an oversized nose, primarily, as well as a spike or drill on the top of its head. The second member is Mad Mole. At first you may wonder if this was an error and should have been Mud Mole. This doesn't appear to be the case, or perhaps it was, and they just ran with it and used it as an inspiration. That does happen a lot, actually. Another possibility is wordplay, like when Hudson made Aquanet's Japanese name rhyme, because there is a Japanese word that can be translated as mud or mad. The moles have an ability called Mad Spatter that throws dirt at their enemies, that can cause them to become delusional. Mud that inflicts madness. Mind blown. The third is Mole Mage, a more magical mole able to cast growth. While it may look like a lemur from the sprite, these are actually flying squirrels. Momonga is actually the Japanese word for flying squirrels. In American, the second member is Squirrel Fang, and in Japan, a poor transliteration of flying squirrel. The final unused squirrel is Momangler in the West, implying it is a squirrel who can mangle you, or evil Momanga in Japan. Mummies are corpses wrapped in cloth. This is most famous in Egypt, where they wrap their dead up in hopes of preserving them for the afterlife. They became common monsters in fiction due to the curses said to be inflicted on archaeologists who raided Egyptian tombs, and the general creepiness of a dead person being wrapped up and surrounded by stale, but edible food. The second is Foul Mummy here, or in Japan, there's more wordplay that actually works in English too, especially British or Australian English. The second mummy is called Mommy, or Mum, which not only sounds like mummy, but can also be sometimes translated as mummy. I kid you not, they really did this. Are you my mummy, or a mummy? The last member is Grave White, white again referring to a spirit tied to a corpse that came from a tomb or grave. Orcs are creatures created by Tolkien. He describes them as corrupted elves having the face of an ape mixed with a pig. The movies made the orcs more ape-like to match with the goblins Tolkien made into extended orc cousins. Golden Sun, on the other hand, stays true to the big side, and they are pigmen. The second member is Orc Captain, or High Orc, an experienced, high-ranking orc. The final orc is Orc Lord, a very high commanding officer in the orc army. Phoenixes were fiery-colored, often gleaming Greek birds who upon death would be consumed by fire and be reborn from their ashes as chicks. Much like the real jellyfish that can revert to its infant form and live another full life, indefinitely. Firebird could refer to any bird similar to the phoenix, such as the Kol or Fengguang, or the firebird from Russian folklore. However, the firebird glowed bright red, orange, and yellow simultaneously. Not quite fuchsia, but few phoenix-like birds are known for being fuchsia. Wonderbird may be based on the Fengguang, the Chinese phoenix best known for being a wonderful and lucky bird and having a lot of greens, and yellows, and reds. Like a certain Pokemon. When I'm done with Golden Sun, I'm either going to cover Pokemon or Mega Man. If you have opinions, you can leave comments.
Objection!
While originally pixies were something somewhat similar to the Minish, at war with fairies, pixie has come to refer to a fairy. Fairy is an archaic spelling of fairy, referring to tiny winged people who can use magic. Fairies are often happy-go-lucky or innocent, and sometimes can cause themselves to be perceived at larger sizes. The final unused member is a weird nymph. Nymphs being nature spirits who manifest as highly promiscuous spirits with the form of a woman. They were often depicted with the abilities to control nature similar to an adept, and sometimes sexual dominion, similar to a vampire or succubus. Unlike a succubus, nymphs just really like sex and have no hidden agenda. This may be a little bit of a joke alluding to some ants being called warrior or army ants, since guns wouldn't fit the ants and are punching bruisers like Little Mac. Flash Ant may take his name from a quick, unexpected punch, occasionally being described as a flash punch, an ability he has. Numb Ant likely alludes to being beaten, leaving you numb, or maybe it has allowed the ant to box without worrying about flinching, because he feels no pain.